Hi everyone, Jessica here. And if you're new to my channel, I want to just say a quick hello and thank you for joining me. I have been wearing wigs for an incredibly long time, actually over 20 years. So I am on here trying to give you all of the tips and tricks that I have learned over the years. So one of the ones I wanted to talk about today is your lace and why is it obvious and what do you do about it? So I hope you find this helpful. So lace, it's something that can make your wig look incredibly realistic, or it can be the thing that goes from what wig to, oh, that wig, pretty easily. So the reason that this can happen, well, your lace is really there to really disguise the hair being tied into your hairline. Now, there's a few reasons that your lace might be starting to become a little bit more noticeable. So if you first get your wig and it looks just fantastic and you're like, well, how do I get it to stay that way? Listen for more tips. So the first thing is actually dirty lace. Dirty lace. I don't get it dirty. What am I doing? Well, there's a few things that you might be unintentionally doing. The biggest offender is honestly makeup. So when you're putting your makeup on for the day, I don't know about you, but I actually do that sans wig. Okay, so I am bald in all my glory and I do my makeup. So when I do my makeup, I am putting makeup on my forehead, and eventually over time that is going to build up on your lace and show. So the other thing is really just sweat and normal just skin. So even for those of you that don't wear makeup, you're not off the hook, okay? So your lace can still get dirty just from the sweat, and a little bit of just dirt just from normal everyday activity, okay? So the other things that can make your lace look a little bit more obvious are the tint of the lace. Now, this is something that you're going to need to know when you're purchasing the wig because it's not something that changes over time, but there are other colors of lace and not everybody knows this. And I wouldn't expect you to know this, especially if you are new to wearing wigs. The most common type of lace that's undetectable and that I personally like the most is called transparent lace. And it's essentially like a clear lace, okay? And, it's gonna be the best on most wigs. Now, not all wigs actually use transparent lace, and you might be surprised by that, but it is more expensive. And so some brands and some vendors just aren't gonna make their wigs with transparent lace. They're gonna use a different lace. Sometimes it's very, very lightly tinted and you think, well, it's not really gonna make a difference. Well, look how pale and light-skinned I am. I can guarantee you if it is not transparent lace, it shows up on my skin. Okay, so that's just something to keep in mind. Now, if you are also a darker complexion, there are laces that are basically those colors or just, generally that color. So if you're a little bit darker and the brand offers a darker lace, that's usually a good thing to do because it's just going to help blend that in more. So the other things that make your lace more detectable, improper care. Now, this is more than just not washing your lace. This is also in your storage of your wig. If you are just willy-nilly throwing it on a wig stand and going, nah, bah, bah, I'm done, and you're not being careful of like how you're actually placing your lace front, you might be folding it. And if, again, over time, that lace gets just folded and moved around too much, it's going to start lifting. And that never works well for being undetectable on you. So if your lace starts to lift or fray, it's going to just start showing like a little line right there on your forehead. And there's some things that you can do to help with that, but you're kind of on the downward trend at that point of it's been damaged. Lace is very, very delicate, okay? So be careful with that. So the next one I'm gonna say is how you cut your lace. So how you cut your lace. So there are some wig types that come pre-cut. So this wig that I'm wearing is actually a pre-cut wig. So this one is called a welded lace front. I actually really love these for beginners because you don't have to worry about it. And this lace is essentially a little bit more durable than your standard lace types. So I'll give you a really quick close-up for that. But this is a really great lace for that. And so for one type of wig that you don't have to worry about this part. But for those of you with a standard lace front, you're gonna have to cut that lace or ask your wig seller to cut it for you. Many brands will do that for you, but it usually does make the purchase fine as so. So when you're cutting your lace, there's two things to remember. One, don't cut too short. And the other is don't leave it too long. Okay, those are the two most important things. Because if you cut it too short, not only is there essentially no going back, you're not adding more lace to it, but lace over time is going to fray a little bit. Even if you're super careful, it will fray a little bit. And if you cut it all the way back to the hairline, right where the hairs are being tied in, there's nowhere else for you to go with that. So you do want to be careful of leaving. I tend to recommend about 1/4 inch of lace is mostly the right amount for most people. Now the other one is a little bit more funny, but it's leaving too much lace. Now I am a person that I tend to leave a little bit more lace, and that's just because again, I'm not always the most careful with my wigs. I like to switch them out a lot. I wear different colors. So that's just a little bit how I am. And so with that, I do leave my lace a little bit longer because then if it starts fraying, I just get to switch it out. I just cut a little bit more. And that makes it okay for me. So those are the main things to watch out for of why your lace might be showing a little bit more on your wig. And hopefully what I told you was helpful for tips on also how to solve some of those problems. If there's something that I didn't talk about and you're like, well, hey, wait, what about this? Leave a comment and I'll help you. And if you want more wig content like this, please like and follow us. I will be more than happy to share any other useful wig education content with you.